Here's a letter we received. My neighbor is studying Kabbalah with you. She sent me a quote yesterday. She knows my husband and I are having difficulties, to put it mildly, and wants to help us, so I decided to write you. The quote is, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh." That is, she should be for her husband, and her husband should be for her. Therefore it behooves a husband to love his wife as himself, respect her more than himself, to be merciful to her, and protect her the same way as he would the organs of his body. And the wife must also respect and love him as her soul, for she came from him. Rabbi Abraham ben David, Baalei Nefesh. And her first question was, I looked him up on Wikipedia. He was a Jewish sage. He lived in the 12th century. Tell me, is this applicable to us today, the way we live? Or is it only for the 12th century?
I think it is more or less applicable for all times.
Really?
Yes.
So this is how we should feel.
Yes.
She continues, explain to me what it means to cleave unto your wife and become one flesh.
To take care of her, the way you take care of yourself, to take care of her.
The passage in the Torah says, a man shall leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Yes.
That is, his concern will already be about his wife.
Yes.
Is this called cleaving?
Yes.
That was her first question. The second question is, what does it mean we shall be for each other? The term shall be for. How so? Is it fate? What is it about?
Of course this is fate. You see how people get closer to each other, how they get to know each other, how they gradually, little by little,
something brings them together.
They feel good together.
Is this called to be for each other?
Yes.
Is there someone's hand in this?
Of course.
So it brings people together in one way or another. They don't just meet by chance?
No, nothing is by chance.
Is this what they call to be for someone?
Yes.
Then she asks, what does it mean to love as himself? It sounds like an order you have to obey. How is it possible to force this?
A person should have this goal before him.
To love?
To love your life partner, champion in such a way that you take care of him as yourself, at least as much as possible.
Do a man and a woman both have this task?
She does too, yes.
What does it mean I have to respect and love him as my soul? I don't even know where my soul is, she writes. Or, if I love at all, what does it mean to love like my soul?
Well, as your life.
As my life?
Yes.
An equivalent replacement.
Correct.
And one more question. What does it mean that I, the wife, came from my husband? As it's written, because she came from him.
Well, it is believed that a woman who lives with a man seemingly becomes a part of him.
Is that called she came from him?
Yes.
I see. Well, her last question is, and in general, how do I live without divorce?
This already depends on people. How seriously they take life, and if they feel responsible to their children, to each other.
Then they will overcome it.
They will overcome it, yes, of course.
You understand today the whole world is in divorce.
I don't understand this. I do not understand this because I believe there should be no divorce.
You see, it's not for nothing she asked the first question. Does this apply to the 12th century sage or to us too?
I think it doesn't matter what time it belongs to, but there shouldn't be any divorces in general. That's all.
This is not the first time you've said this. You know what the comments are on this? What if he's like this, or she's like that? What if he drinks, and if he beats me, and so on, incessantly?
I can't comment on all these outcries, but I think there is still no place for divorce, especially with children, especially. It's always very
painful.
Painful.
When you say this, do you mean a family with children?
Well, otherwise it's not a family between you and me. Otherwise, not a family.
And if it doesn't work out in some way?
Well, if there are problems, they were there in the first place.
So actually, do children make it a family?
Yes.
I see. Can you suggest some kind of exercise for people who are in such a state of anxiety? What if it happens? What if we get divorced? Are we moving toward this? What should we do? How can we sit down together and talk?
This is a big problem that requires a period of re-education.
Really?
I think this is not an easy task. But still, divorce is the last, and I would say unacceptable resort. This line should not be crossed.
If they hear this, if it makes an impact, drilling it into themselves somehow, letting it in, will it allow them to start rapprochement from that point on? So it's important to identify that point and work with it,
Sure.
that there can be no divorce.
Right.